welcome or welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. So it is time for a new weekly reading vlog. It is a new week, it's Monday, I am up, I say early, it's like 8 o'clock so it's not that early. I'm about to go to uni to try and get like a whole day of work done because I need to, and I'm feeling motivated for it, which I don't often feel as motivated as I am right now. So I'm just going to take advantage of that and go and sit in the uni cafe and do a lot of work, and then I have a class later, so wish me luck on my productivity today and motivation because I need it. But anyway, let's talk about the books that I want to read in this week's reading vlog. I am currently reading 2 books and I would like to finish both of them in this vlog. The first one is The Dragon Republic, which I am kind of towards the end of. I've got 150 pages left. I was meant to finish this yesterday according to my buddy read. I still have these tabs in because they're very pretty, but I am actually listening to this on audiobook and I'm definitely enjoying the audiobook of these books a lot more than I am the physical. I've only tried to read this one in physical format. I don't think I read any of the Poppy War physically, but when I started this one I did try and read the physical format and I definitely just immediately was like, no, I want to read the audiobook, and I think part of that is because there's a lot of pronunciations in here and I just knew that I would be getting them wrong in my head if I read them physically. But I'm definitely going to be reading the audiobook of this one, well, the rest of this one, and the next book, The Burning God, I think it's called. But yeah, I am enjoying this series a lot, but not as much as I wanted to at all. This is more kind of like what I expected from the series when I went into it, without obviously giving much away on this book. The series starts following Rin, who is from the south of her country, the poorer south, and she is determined to get into this magical academy in Sinigard, which is the north of the country and is much more prestigious. So she does that and we follow her as she goes through that magical academy in the first book, and there is a war looming on the horizon, and then the other books and most of the Poppy War follows this kind of big war and follows Rin fighting in the war. And what I expected from the books was this like big war political fantasy, and then at the start of the Poppy War gives you this kind of magical academy day-to-day setting, which I absolutely loved but didn't expect from these books. And I think going from that setting into this like big war setting that I expected was actually a little bit of a disappointment, which means I haven't enjoyed this one as much as I wanted to, and I just want to be back in that day-to-day setting. I found it a lot easier to follow, I was enjoying it a lot more, whereas this one is a lot more of a political high fantasy. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. I think I gave the first one 4 stars in the end. At the start it was like, this is going to be a 5-star, and then as we went on, I think it ended up as a 4. This one I think will probably end up as a 3.5, and I'm intrigued to see where the last one goes, but I also just kind of want to finish this series. So yeah, I might buddy read that one with a few friends as well. I have been buddy reading kind of loosely even though we set out pages, so yeah, hopefully I will buddy read the last one and finish this series very soon. But yeah, I will finish this one this week. I am also in the middle of Endgame. I say in the middle, at the start of. Read 100 pages of Endgame by Mallory Blackmon. This is the 6th and final, I think, book in the Noughts and Crosses series that came out probably 20 years after the first book did, let's be honest. I think Noughts and Crosses was like early 2000, but I may be wrong. And yeah, obviously I can't tell you really anything about this book, but basically the kind of concept of the books are the black people have kind of the power and the white people are very much looked down upon, and you kind of see how that evolves over the series. And a lot of things have happened. There is a whole family involved in this story now. We started with just Seppi and now there's like a whole family as things have gone on. This is set years later, probably like 30 years maybe after the first book. So yeah, I can't really tell you a lot about this, but I am enjoying it so far. These are very kind of like high intensity, high action, very quick to read, short chapters, which I'm really enjoying. So yeah, I'm hoping to get this done in the next couple of days so I can move on with my TBR, but we will see what happens with that because I have been struggling to get more than 50 pages read in a day at the moment, the past few days. so we will see where that goes. But if I manage to find a chunk of time, hopefully I'll finish this one fairly quickly, because it is very quick to read once you get going. There is some also really, really interesting discussions of like recent events but in this world. So we had last night, when I was reading it, I came across Naught Lives Matter, which obviously is a play on Black Lives Matter, which was really interesting to read about. I just think the way that Mallory Blackmon brings these things into the story is really, really interesting to read. So yeah, I'm also reading that, and I have a few other books on my TBR which I'll quickly just flash up and show you, books that I want to get to in this reading vlog, but it probably will be more towards the end if I get Endgame finished, which hopefully I will, because I haven't even started my March TBR yet, and it's the 14th. Like, my actual March mini golf TBR I haven't started. So there's 5 books on there and I need to read them. And the ones that I would actually like to get to at the end of this weekly reading vlog, I'd love to read Tide Song by Wendy after I finish Endgame. This one is a graphic novel, so it'll be a very quick read and an easy way to get started with my TBR and hopefully give me the motivation to carry on. And this is a middle grade graphic novel following Sophie, who is magical. I think she isn't great at magic, and she's sent off to this magical academy, but she also really struggles with making friends, and I absolutely loved Mooncakes by this author, so I'm very excited to read this one and very happy to own a copy of it because they're really hard to get. So I'm hoping I will absolutely love this. Mooncakes was like one of my favourite books of last year, so hopefully I will love this one. Then I also think I'm going to move on to Message Not Found, which follows a sapphic romance, I think, but after one of them has died. And the other one, I always forget which one's which. Bailey, who is left, creates this chatbot with all of their messages, and it actually starts to reveal like mysterious things about the way Vanessa died. So very intrigued by this, hoping it'll be a really quick read once I get going. Love the format as well, like there's some like Google searches, text messages, very pretty. Very excited to start reading this one. This was from Harper 360, so thank you to them for sending me a copy. Very excited for that, and if I manage to somehow get those read at the end of this vlog, I will then start Lulu and Milagro's Search for Clarity, which is also a Harper book, so thank you to them for sending me this one. And this follows them, these two sisters, on a road trip to their college, or their possible college, and they are apparently don't really get on very well, I think, and they're begrudging partners on this road trip, but they will learn new things and discover new things about each other on the way. So yeah, excited for this one too. I feel like I am in need of a YA contemporary, so I'm hoping I will really enjoy this one when I get to it. And then, which I won't start this week, I don't think, because I definitely don't think I'm going to finish all these books this week, but we'll see. I have House of Earth and Blood. No, House of Sky and Breath to read, so you never know. We'll get there at some point, like next week or the week after. I need to read all these books first. But anyway, very long start to this weekly reading vlog. I will see you in another clip. Hi, it is Thursday. Please ignore any banging or knocking or anything that's going on in the background of this video, because my brother's bedroom, which is above me, is being redone at the moment, so Dad's doing some work in there, so please ignore that. But yeah, it's Thursday. Sorry, it's been a few days since I've updated you. I realised I am working 5 days this week and I'm at uni for the other 2 days, so I have a very busy week this week. So I haven't managed to update you much or read much. I am still reading Endgame. I'm now just under halfway through. I think I need to read another like 30-40 pages to be halfway. I am enjoying this, but not finding it quite as quick as Crossfire. It is still very quick, but some of the chapters are a little longer and they vary in length. But yeah, it is still a very quick and easy one to read, which I am enjoying. I just literally haven't had the time to pick it up, and I've been doing uni work after work as well, so I really haven't had a lot of time. And now I'm worried about actually finishing my March TBR in March, but I will give it a shot. Hopefully I will manage to do that, but we will see. I need to finish this one at first. But hopefully I'll manage to read tonight, tomorrow, and the weekend. I will read more at work on the weekend because I have more breaks when I'm working in the bookshop, and I will be working Saturday and Sunday there, so hopefully I'll get a chunk read on Saturday. And then on Sunday night, me and Alex are going to do a live show, so hopefully I'll get a chunk read in that live show as well. But yeah, I definitely need to finish this one very soon, because it is taking me longer than it should, but I am still enjoying it. I just don't think I'll enjoy it as much as Crossfire, because Crossfire was just so addictive and so intense. So I just read it in basically a day, so yeah. But I also have some posts, so I'm gonna attempt to open this now, but it does have some tape on it, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, I got into it and it's in another bag. Love that for me. Love that. Let's try and get into this. Okay, so we have Forbidden Planet Coffee of Gallant by V. Schwab. This is the absolutely beautiful exclusive Forbidden Planet edition with black sprayed edges that match the Waterstones exclusive. Has these absolutely stunning end papers, which I absolutely adore. It's the same at the back. And it has this black house underneath. I love this little house. I love how like similar but also different this looks to the Waterstones exclusive. I'll get the Waterstones one. So this is the Waterstones one, this is the Forbidden Planet one. On the front cover I'm pretty sure they're the same, and I think the spines are also the same, but then you see that, which I just absolutely love. And then underneath the Waterstones one has different but equally beautiful end papers. And it looks like this under the dust jacket, which is absolutely beautiful. I love how these two compare. Unfortunately, they won't fit on my shelves together, so I might have to separate them, but that's fine because my proof is already separated. And because they look exactly the same, I'm not as bothered about having them together. But these also look so beautiful with the hardback copy of The Near Witch and the hardback copy of... what's the other one that I have? Oh, the illustrated edition of Addie LaRue. They look beautiful together, but this is like the same kind of size as well as the Near Witch, so it's beautiful. But anyway, I'm gonna go because that banging is not ideal for filming it. Hi, it's Friday morning. I'm about to head to work, but I thought I'd just do a quick update before I actually leave. So I am still reading Endgame at the moment. I've read like a little bit last night, so I'm really not much further through than I was last night. I might be like 20 pages down the line or something, 30 maybe. But I am still enjoying it, but I haven't read that much. But I did finish a book after I spoke to you yesterday, which is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Quang. I've been listening to this one on audiobook for the past couple of weeks, and it's actually got dust on it. I have been building work done, so it's probably not just like dust in the air, but still. I've been listening to the audiobook, so this has just been like sat next to my bed. I don't know how I feel about this series. I went in with expectations of like high fantasy warfare. The first book started, and I was like, oh, this is completely different to what I thought it was, and it was more like day-to-day magical academy. And then halfway through the first one, it changes to political fantasy, high fantasy warfare, like I expected. So this book is essentially that, and it's not really something that I enjoy reading about as much. I much prefer the slower day-to-day thought processes, character developments kind of thing. And I think we did see snippets of it in this book, and I think that's just like a tease because I know that R.F. Quang writes that so well that I really enjoy when she writes like that, but I didn't get enough of it from this book at all, and I wish I had more of that day-to-day slow burning mental kind of thought processes and stuff. But it does shine through. And there was elements of this book that I enjoyed. I don't think I'm actually going to buy the last book, which is The Burning God, because I've read the first two entirely on audiobook pretty much and enjoyed them a lot more. And I think because of some of the pronunciations in this, you can't really go between listening to it and reading it, because you're like, the way that I read the names in my head is completely different to how that actually said, and it makes me really confused. So I think I'm just going to listen to the audiobook of the last one when I get to it, but I think I'm going to give this a 3-star. I was thinking 3.5, but I don't know if there's just enough there that I can pinpoint that I really liked. It's so like bitty that I think I'm going to stick to a 3. I would still recommend this series if it sounds like something you're interested in. I would just say make sure you go into it the mindset it is warfare, it's political, it's quite harrowing in a lot of places. There is quite graphic scenes in here, especially for sexual abuse, violence, self-harm, genocide, war, and that kind of setting. Yeah, there is some quite brutal and graphic scenes in here, and disgust as well, so yes, be aware if you are going into the series, look up content warnings, because I'm sure I have missed a few. There is heavy drug use as well. But yeah, very interesting read, and I'm glad I've got the audiobooks because I definitely feel like that makes the experience a lot more enjoyable. But I do also wish that I was enjoying it more, and I will finish it. I will read The Burning God, but it's not what... It's really difficult because this is what I expected it to be. I just wanted something a little bit more to my taste, and then I think I was just so, like, I was teased with that at the start of the Poppy War, and then it's kind of changed back, so mixed feelings. So I need to start a new audiobook today because I'm driving a lot, and I finished whatever that was called, The Dragon Republic. So I was looking at audiobooks, and I have a list of like books that are on my TBR that I have an audiobook version on Scribd. And I know at the start of the month looked on my March TBR and noticed that none of the books that I was reading was on there. Had another look today, and Lulu and Milagro's Guide, no, Search for Clarity is on there now, or was always on there and I couldn't see it, I don't know, but it's on there. So I'm actually going to listen to this, which is only 9 hours long. Very excited because Harper 360 audiobooks are so good. So I'm very excited to read this. I read Act Cool the other week on audiobook and that was so good. So I'm really excited to see how this one is. I've never really been that like enamoured with a publisher before, but Harper 360, I don't know, they can do no wrong. I've read so many good things by them. I'm saying that and this is going to like completely fall flat, isn't it? But I don't know, I've had really good experiences with a lot of their books, so excited for this one. It's a road trip following two sisters going to a college for a visit, and they're begrudging partners in this road trip. So excited to read this one on audio. Also really helps with my March TBR because I'm feeling incredibly behind and like I won't be able to get that TBR finished in the next 2 weeks-ish that we have left of March, just under 2 weeks. So that will be a big help. I am going to go to work now, so I'll probably speak to you tomorrow night when I get home from work tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Hi, it is Saturday night. I'm literally about to go to sleep, but I'm just going to read a little bit before I sleep, so I thought I'd just also give you a bit of a catch up. I am now much further into Endgame, hoping to finish it tomorrow if I can, because I read quite a chunk at work today. I probably read like 100 pages maybe on my breaks at work, and I'm hoping to read a little bit more tomorrow at work, and then me and Alex are going live tomorrow night, so I'm hoping to finish it in live streams. I don't think it'll take me very long. This book and this series in general is so quick to read. I found all of the books really fast, and I think if I had more time this week I would have read this one really quickly as well. I don't think this one is drawing me in quite as much as the first book, but it's hard to tell because I haven't had the time like I did with the 5th book. Sorry, I'm talking about now. I'm so tired. But yeah, I think if I'd had more time, then I might have finished this one in a few days like I did with Crossfire, which is the 5th book, but I just haven't had the time to read that much. But I am really enjoying this still. It's not hooking me quite as much as Crossfire, and I don't feel the same kind of like intense want to keep reading when I'm reading it, but I am still really enjoying it, so that is good, and I do love this edition. And I've also been reading Lulu and Milagro's Search for Clarity, which I am enjoying. The narrator for Lulu is a little bit annoying on my audiobook, so I'm struggling with that, but Milagro's chapters, I prefer the narrator for Milagro, but I am still enjoying this one. It's a little bit cringy in places, for lack of a better word, with just the stuff that they kind of like get up to, because it follows them both as they travel. Kind of Lulu really wants to go on this college trip from her high school and their high school, their sisters. Their high school is a convent high school, I think, like a religious high school, and Milagro doesn't want to go on this and is kind of like dragged along on this trip, so they're kind of like begrudgingly on this college trip together from their school, and it is a little cringy in places, but I'm still really enjoying it, and it's nice to read something that's just like really easy to read, and easy to listen to, and I don't have to pay as much attention to or focus as much as I have been with like the Poppy War. So yes, I'm really, really glad that this is on Scribd all of a sudden, so I can read it and try and tackle my March TBR a bit, because we only have like 10 days left of the month now, or something like that. But yeah, very glad this is on Scribd. Enjoying my reads, and I will update you tomorrow. I'm at work tomorrow, obviously, and then doing a live show with Alex, so I'll probably update you in the live show, in the reading sprints, or afterwards, because I'm hoping to get a lot of reading done, hoping to finish Endgame, read a graphic novel, and start another book. So I will speak to you tomorrow. Hi and welcome to the end of the vlog. It is actually Monday morning. I was going to film the end of this vlog last night, but I went to work, went for a run, and did a 3-hour live show with Alex after having dinner. So I was very tired, and it was gone like 10:30 by the time we were all wrapped up and stuff. So I decided to just wait until this morning to actually wrap up this vlog properly in the light when I'm feeling a bit more alive, although I'm feeling very tired now. But yes, here we are, it's Monday, and I have finished a number of books since I last spoke to you. I have finished Endgame for a start. This is what I wanted to do in the live show last night, and I did. When I went into the live show, I had about 100 pages left, and I finished it probably around an hour after. Me and Alex honestly didn't get as much reading done in the live show because we just talked so much more than we normally do, which was really, really nice, and I feel like we just like had a catch up and people watched it, because we just were chatting about anything and everything, mainly books but also like other stuff, which was really nice. But we did, I think, one less sprint than we usually do, so I finished this one I think at the end of the second sprint, and I enjoyed this one quite a lot. I gave it 3.5 stars in the end, which is the same as what I ended up giving Crossfire. This one was very plot focused and I read it very quickly once I finally got like time to actually sit down and read it. My only real like complaint is that I didn't feel that connected to the characters, and I think that's because there are a couple of different points of view. You just don't really spend that kind of quality time with the characters to really get connected to them. And it was very, very plot focused because of that. And I also felt like I was getting slightly confused towards the end with all the like political stuff and trying to like think back to different characters and what their kind of stories were and how they were weaved into the story. But I did enjoy it quite a lot overall. Really glad I finished this series because it was super interesting to see what this was like 20 years after the first one was actually published and how racism has been weaved throughout this story. It did make me quite sad to see how much this still resonated with me with what's going on in the world now, to how obviously Noughts and Crosses was when it first came out over 20 years ago. That was quite shocking to actually think about, but I really liked that this book made me actually reflect on that and have a real think and look at myself and the way the world is. So I think that's really important, and I do love this entire series for the way it talks about racism. I think that it's done incredibly well. So I'm sure all of you have picked up Noughts and Crosses by now, but if you haven't, I think it is one of those books that does really make you think about life. But yes, that is Endgame. So I finished that. I then moved on to Tide Song by Wendy, which I read in the last sprint, and this was so cute. This is a middle grade graphic novel from the same author as Mooncakes, who I absolutely love Mooncakes. It was one of my favourite books of last year, and this one was absolutely adorable. I loved it. Followed Sophie, who is a girl who does magic, but she's not that great at magic, and she wants to get into this magic academy. So she's sent to spend time with some of her kind of extended family to kind of be trained how to do magic. So she kind of then gets involved with these water dragons around where she lives that can shapeshift, and stuff kind of happens that kind of forces her to take a look at her magic and what her magic really means. And this one was just so cute. I'm trying to find some of the illustrations. Like, I just absolutely love Wendy Zoo's illustrations. I think they're absolutely beautiful. Like the start of when we see where she's travelled to with the like where she's staying and stuff is just absolutely beautiful. I love this town that she goes to so much. I mean, look at that. It is just absolutely stunning. And then later in the book, when we see this like more foresty aspect, oh my god, as well, the dragon or the creatures in this, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I love them so much. Like, look how gorgeous that is. Like, I have so much appreciation for this artwork. It just makes me want to like read it again just to look at the art. Also, look at this guy. And this, one of the cutest panels in this is this. I love it. So yeah, it might give this 5 stars because I just loved it so much and it was so cute, and I feel like it's one I want to read again and again, and the art style is gorgeous and it had a lovely message behind it. If you enjoy things like Mooncakes, things like the Tea Dragon Society, I would definitely pick this one up if you like the look of it, because it's absolutely beautiful. A bit hard to get in the UK. I found it at Gaze the Word in London, so it might be worth seeing if they have any copies available. They do have a website which is gazetheword.co.uk, and they're a lovely bookshop to support even if you don't want this book. Go and check them out. So yeah, I finished that. I also finished, not on sprints, but I finished Lulu and Milagro's Search for Clarity actually before the sprints, so I've kind of talked about this the wrong way around. But yeah, I finished this one just before the sprint started. I listened to the audiobook of this and I just realised how much time I had to listen to audiobooks yesterday, which was helped by the fact I got stuck in traffic on the way to and from work. And then I did hoovering at work, so I listened to it then, and then I went for a run after work, so I listened to it then, and I finished it. And I actually quite enjoyed this. It wasn't amazing, it wasn't anything revelationary, but if you're looking for kind of this sister relationship, kind of summary road trip, then it's pretty good. I did like the sister relationship. I did like both of the sisters, and I really liked Lulu as well. I found like I could see myself in her a little bit. And yeah, there was a lot to like, it just wasn't revelationary, as I said. I think I'll probably give it 3.5 stars again. It was very easy to read, very quick to read. I enjoyed the audiobook. The narrator for Lulu was a little bit irritating in my opinion, just that her voice did grate on me a bit, but I got used to it quite quickly and it didn't really bother me that much. Milagro's I did much prefer. But yeah, I did like this book. it just didn't blow me away, but if it's something that you think you'd enjoy, I would recommend picking it up. It just basically follows these two sisters as they leave their Catholic high school behind and go on this trip to college to see what college is like, and they end up touring these different colleges across America. Also looks at romance and expectations and growing up. It is very much a coming of age story for the two sisters. It talks about sisterhood and family as well, and friendships and religion and things like that. So it is interesting commentary. It felt a little bit young for me, but I did still enjoy it. So yeah, 3.5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, those are all the books I actually finished yesterday. So I finished 3 books yesterday, which is yay. I got 2 of those books were from Mini Golf TBR, so I'm finally getting there a little bit with my Mini Golf TBR, which I'm very excited about. And I have also started another book on that TBR very late last night, and I've only read about 30 pages, so I will be talking about that at the start of next week's vlog if you want to check that out. I'm reading that throughout next week. But thank you so much for joining me for this week's vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye!